Anita here with Blue Butterfly Budgets. So I am on my way home. I have done a day of dashing. So I dashed for 6 hours today and made roughly just over $90. So that doesn't include gas and everything. So, and I do apologize for the shakiness of the video. The road isn't the very best here, and I'm driving home and doing this. So, basically, we are in Washington. I don't remember, without going back and looking at the videos, guys, I don't remember what I've told you. So, for those that are new, my name's Anita. I am born and raised in Shelton, Washington State. And my husband and I decided to move in, it was the end of February, beginning of March of 2020, to Missouri to go be closer to his family. Well, through all this, August 15th of this year, so 2022, I woke up with my left arm just feeling out of the norm. It wasn't hurting, it wasn't numb, tingly, or anything like that. It was literally, it just did not feel like, it just felt off. That's all I can say. Basically, I kept dropping stuff that whole week. When I would try to touch my nose, like I would touch it just fine with my right, but, and this is with eyes closed. If I did it with my left, I was actually hitting somewhere around my mouth, my chin area. Worked all that week, so August 15th was a Monday, woke up like that. I started having issues typing by the end of the week, so that Friday I went to the walk-in clinic after work, and they kind of just did a quick overview and said it wasn't a stroke, and gave me a muscle relaxer shot because they thought it was just a tight muscle that was tightened up, which is possible because I've had it before. I was in a car accident years ago. That maybe that might have been what it was stress and everything like that. Then within 24 hours, so the next day, my husband and I were shopping. While we were coming home from shopping, I was driving, I was talking to him. My hand, I was trying to explain kind of like what had been happening to me that prior week. My hand, while I was doing that, I was going like this, using my hands to talk. Well, my hand kind of closed on its own, and then I started to feel dizzy, but my hand closed, and then all of a sudden my hand was just moving. So I almost hit myself. I had no control over my hand movements, so I pulled over as quickly as I could. Luckily when it first started, I was at a stoplight, so I just went straight through, well, after the light turned green, okay? I went straight through, and there was a spot that I could pull over, so I pulled over. My husband took over. We actually, since we had just went shopping, I was like, well, let's go home, get the stuff put away, because it was like 15 minutes to go home and about 47 minutes one way to go to the nearest ER. So, and at this point, I was like, I'm going to call it an episode, had stopped by the time we were talking about this. My hand wasn't moving anymore. I wasn't really dizzy anymore. It was just really quick, within 1 or 2 minutes. It was lasted 30 seconds to 2 minutes, somewhere in there. So we get to the hospital and tell them, hey, I was here yesterday. They gave me a shot. This is what happened an hour ago. So they ended up doing, I was a CT scan. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think it was a CT scan. Or they did an MRI, quick one, I can't remember. Anyways, they said, well, there's no brain bleed. We're going to call it a migraine equivalent. And just sent me home. Didn't give me anything, didn't do any more blood tests. And in fact, I don't think they did any blood tests. It was literally, I was in there and out of there within 3 hours. It was like one of the quickest times I've been in and out of the ER. So I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I go home Monday, or I kind of like, I ended up messaging my doctor, the doctor's office, said, hey, I was suggested to get an MRI, so can you please order an MRI? So they did that with contrast. Ended up that following Wednesday, went in for the MRI. Ended up talking with my doctor either the following day or the next day, so like either Thursday or Friday. She basically said, well, we see something, it can be a list of, and it was like 10 to 15 items. It was a lot of stuff. But they couldn't really tell. So we're like, okay, fine, we'll schedule some, we'll figure out some more testing. Well, and so I had I ended up getting scheduled to see a neurologist for October 3rd, I think. I don't remember. Anyways, so I went that weekend. So by this time, it's the last week of August. I'm at work on a Tuesday, and my work has been really awesome. Just really kind of, my coworkers are really looking out for me, helping me out and whatnot. My boss is helping me out whenever I need it. Tuesday, Tuesday, which was August 30th, I think. Anyways, that Tuesday, I was having issues. Like, I had already went out and bought a stress ball because my hand was clamping shut on its own, basically the week that I got the MRI done, so second week. So this is the third week after, the start of the third week after this all happened to me. And so my hands started clamping up, and I was using my stress ball to kind of keep my hand open. Well, at one point I didn't have my stress ball on me. I was doing something, I needed both hands. And my hand literally clamped shut, and I was sitting there looking at it, willing it, trying to get it to open up. It would not budge. Like, my muscles were actually, it kind of felt like they were hurting just trying to get it open. It was really weird. And so it's kind of crazy because that day we have a meeting that happens in the office every Tuesday in the afternoon at 2 o'clock. And it was literally just about 2 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, I need to go to the hospital. That day my husband had driven me in, he had driven home. So he was going to be on his way soon in like another hour or so. So I had a coworker of mine took me to the ER, and she kind of felt bad because she's like, I should stay with you. I was like, no, go back. I'm in the ER. I'm good. I'm safe here. Josh is on his way. I've messaged him. Josh is my husband, by the way. So I get into the ER, and they set me up with like a teledoc. So I was conversing with this person over a Zoom, basically, or whatever. It was a neurologist that wasn't on site because the hospital that I went to doesn't have an on-site neurologist. And so she kind of evaluated me while I was sitting on the bed, laying in the bed. And guys, the first time that I went in, I was sitting down and they evaluated me. They needed to evaluate me standing up both times, really. Anyways, so she evaluated me. We talked for about maybe 20-30 minutes, if that. And she's like, I'm admitting you. So, but she's like, I want you to go somewhere that's got an on-site neurologist and cardiologist. So we spent about another 2 hours in that ER because we had to wait for the okay to go to the city. So because they were going to send me to one hospital in Kansas City. However, there was no room in Kansas City, so they sent me to another one in Overland Park, which is also part of Kansas City. It's just a different area. So I went there, got there. I think by the time we left, let's see, so I got there around 2 o'clock Tuesday to the ER, and then I got to the new hospital where I was going to be admitted around 6:30. Because it took us a little while, we actually stopped. I was actually hungry because I hadn't really ate much that day because everything that was going on. And so we got something to eat real quick and ate, and then went to the hospital, which was about an hour and a half drive. So we left the hospital between 4:30 and 5 to get to the other one. They could have done an ambulance, but I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to pay the $5,000-$6,000 or whatever it costs nowadays to take an ambulance ride up to the city. So we went up there, got in there, got into my room, and sorry about the lighting, guys. It's like almost 5 o'clock at night. Anyways, we got up there, got situated. My husband went back home that night because he had an interview the next day. So I got hooked up. They put me on a heart monitor, like an actual heart monitor to check if I had any abnormal heart rates and whatnot. So that was fun. As it was, my hand, they had actually left they normally don't do this, but they left my IV port in because it was in my hand, and since I was going straight to the hospital, the other hospital, they just wrapped it up. But it was very fun to try and sleep with a wrapped up hand and this like chunky heart monitor thing that's about the size of a cell phone, but thicker, like 4 times as thick. So it was just fun, we'll just say that. The next morning I get woke up around 4 a.m. and they start doing all my vitals at like 4 a.m. So they were waking me up like every 2 hours, and because my blood sugars are super sky high, they were giving me insulin, which I've been trying to avoid insulin. I've been trying to figure out why my sugars are so high, even though I can eat super healthy, and they are still high. Like I'm not kidding you guys, they're like in like the 300s. I'm lucky. For the last couple of years, I've been lucky if I can get it below 200. It just likes that 300. I can tell when I'm on a super low or a super high, like if I'm above 400, I can tell. Anyways, where was I? Oh, yeah. Anyways, so again, guys, I am so sorry about, here, does that work? Maybe. No. Anyways, they wake me up and they're, I'm awake or whatever finally around 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. I can't go back to sleep because, they're waking me up like every hour to 2 hours for vitals and to draw blood. The first full day I was there, I swear they drew about 40 vials of blood from me that day. They drew so much. Anyways, that first full day, they did a couple of different tests, and I went in and actually got an MRI and with contrast on my head and neck. It actually took 2 hours for that, so I was laying down in the MRI for 2 hours. I tell you, my tailbone was hurting by then. And got back, and to be honest, guys, I hadn't even had breakfast yet. I didn't know how to order breakfast because they hadn't told me anything, and they didn't say that I was NPO, which is nothing by mouth. And so I got something ordered at around 10 a.m. because that's literally right when they took me back for the MRI. I didn't get to eat my food until about 12:30, 1 o'clock. So I had nothing from like 5 o'clock the night before till like 1 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock the next day. And they were still giving me insulin. Yeah, go figure. They were still giving me insulin. Anyways, so then they did a couple more tests throughout the day. I don't remember what was all done. I had a very light dinner. By this time, I didn't eat lunch because my breakfast was my lunch, or my lunch was my breakfast, or whatever you want to call it. And so I had a little bit of food. We actually DoorDashed some food, and then I'm trying to think, guys. But this whole issue with me has actually really deteriorated my thinking power. And I'm home. Anyways, basically, then, like, they told me after I finished that food, they're like, okay, you can't eat anything past midnight tonight because you can't eat the next, whatever. And so it's like, okay, I understand that, whatever. Because they were gonna do some other stuff. Anyway, so they went actually down and did a TEE, which is going through my esophagus, and they looked at my heart to see if I had a hole in my heart. They couldn't tell with just regular ultrasounds. They went up through my groin, and they thought they were going to put a stent in, but they didn't. So they found out that my carotid artery is clamping, the muscles around it are clamping onto it, and so that's causing the decrease in blood flow to my brain and killing off my brain. So I've had the doctor was very, doctors were very, very what the heck is going on. They found out I had 29 mini strokes. So TIAs. So at some point, one of them caused issues with my left arm. And I know there was some vocab issues that have happened since. I know I was having issues with keeping on focus, keeping focused on my tasks while I was at work. So basically, I decided after I found that, and I finally got released on like the 2nd of September. So I was only there for like, I think I was there for 2 nights, 3 days. So, oh, actually, maybe no. I think I was there for 3 nights, 4 days. I don't remember. Anyways, so my husband and I decided to move back to Washington. That's where we are right now. We moved on October 15th is when we actually we left Missouri on October 10th, got to Washington State on October 15th. We are currently residing at my mother's house. She actually has a house that she kind of lives in she rented it out and now she's moving back into it. So we are actually renting it out from her. My husband and I decided that I'm not going to go back to work. I'm going to try and get on disability. He actually just got his uniform. He's going back to the casino as a table games dealer, so he'll be working. It'll be part-time, but he'll be making pretty good in money. We've heard that the pay per hour is between $28 and $30 an hour. So even if he only works 25 hours a week, he's actually bringing in quite a bit. And our rent is $600. We also pay an additional $100 for we pay $700. And then we pay for our internet and garbage recycling. Those are the things that we decided to. The rest of it, my mom has actually paid for the cable. So we have TV. Truth, honestly, we could go without it. I really didn't care about the cable. So we'll make things work. Right now, I'm just door dashing until he starts actually working. We're hoping that he'll start work this week sometime. So I'll be dashing until he gets his paycheck. We do have to take our car in because we've noticed a lot of things lately. Our fan blower is going out, so it does a click, click, click. We've noticed some turning when we're turning, some scraping or whatever, some noises. And then also we've been having issues with gas. It's like I notice it more on hills when we're going up hills. It kind of wants to do this like putter, putter, putter type thing, or like it's not getting into gear, or it's just not getting enough gas for some reason. So we do need to take the baby in. We need to take the Jeep in. But of course that we can't do until he starts working, so that we know what we're kind of dealing with, so we have some income. That's the fan blower. If you guys heard that, that's a fan blower, which is an easy like $40 fix, but we're just going to take it in because we got to do like a tranny flush, and we've got to figure out why the gas issue, whatever is happening. So we're just going to have it done all at once. So, but yeah, anyways, guys, that's kind of what's happening right now. So right now I'm trying to get on disability, which I'll be getting I think it's just under $1,400 a month. But I'm in the process of doing that. I have a doctor's appointment the 22nd, which is also my husband's birthday, to kind of get things, that's like the second step of getting things rolling. There's a lot of stuff I still have to do with Social Security and Department of Social Health. We do have food stamps that we're using right now. We actually are getting full benefits. And of course, I'm dashing right now to get us extra funds because we actually we sold our shed. If you guys know, we were working on building a shed or home from a shed. We sold it for about $19,000. We put a lot of it into the move. We paid off the shed, so part of that $19,000 went to paying off the remainder of the shed and towards the move. So we didn't have a whole lot left, so we've just kind of been trying to make ends meet. I am hoping because my husband is going to give me an allowance, basically. We kind of talked about this. We'll see how things go, but I should be back to doing my budget videos. I'll probably be getting to some planning videos, and I might just do some day in the lives. But that will all depend on how things go, because as it is, there's a lot of days that I am so tired, I don't want to do anything. And to be honest, I have a feeling that's going to be tomorrow because I dashed today and I'm actually planning on dashing pretty much the rest of the week, next week, except for Monday. We'll see how things go. I'm actually thinking even Thanksgiving, I might dash depending on what we're doing. At this point, we're not planning on anything. There are options for us, but I don't know what's going on. Anyways, guys, I wanted to give you a quick update. Thank you for staying with me, and thank you for the couple of new subscribers within the last couple of months. Thank you. I hope that you kind of get to see some things happening and see how we're paying off some debt, getting situated, and my journey with disability. I guess I'll try and get some of that to you guys too. Alright guys, well, it's been a pleasure. I need to get inside. It is like, I've actually been wearing this tank top all day, and it's been like no warmer than 40, like the highest temperature I got today was like 48 degrees. And I'm just like, I'm good. I don't need my sweater, but you know what? I might just use it soon. Anyways, guys, good luck. Have some fun. Enjoy.